Hello manga and anime lovers, I'm Branch1. You can call me Branch, and today I'm going to be talking about How to Become Ordinary Season 2, Episode 10, I think. Crap, I lost the number again. Well, but it doesn't matter. I know what episode I'm talking about. And this is the episode where we get even more confused, because I have no idea what's going on now in both timelines. So just quickly to cover the current timeline, really quickly, a lot of the stuff continues on from the last episode that I was talking about, where either I'm going insane, or Kobuto is going insane, or I'm completely missing something, because it just seems like this, there's something strange going on at the hospital, and I don't know what. Why the nurses and the doctors so either fed up or pitying Kobuto? It's hard to tell. Kobuto was just really desperate to get out of the hospital. And I'm not sure exactly why. I don't think we're supposed to know. There could be a lot of things. He could be wanting to try and clear up this thing with Hisaka, or he could be wanting to join Ulsanai. He could be wanting to investigate the case. He could be wanting to do any number of things. But to be honest, I think it's mostly the fact that he's cooped up in this hospital and he just wants to do anything but sit in bed all day. I really like the chocolates, by the way. It's a way of showing how much time has passed, because you can put dates or whatever, days of the week, and it'll take a moment for the human brain to realize, what day it is, how many days it's been. But when you put the chocolates, you can see, oh, this is how many days it's been, this is how many that we potentially have left. A very good visual, not metaphor, but visual indicator of time. And also the fact, a lot more cryptic messages, especially concerning Hisaka from last year, who was not last year, my bad. Hisaka in, I think it was second year of middle school, I believe. So, especially considering him, because he did not take place. Oh, no. I think it might have been the final year of middle school. That makes sense. Yeah, especially considering that, because, look, why are we talking about this again in the present? What was that message that Hisaka hasn't participated in a tournament for 3 years? Like, that would make sense, because he hurt his arm in the final year of middle school, and then the first 2 years of high school, I guess he's been missing or absent. Kobuto doesn't know what happened to him, so there's that. There's also the super cryptic, remember the water the flowers message at the end of the episode? Why? I bet this is some kind of metaphor or a cultural thing that I'm not getting, because it's way too cryptic otherwise, unless it will be explained in the very next episode, which I highly doubt. And this show does do a really good job of explaining stuff. It's just until you get to that point, you start to feel like you're going crazy. Speaking of going crazy, holy cow, a lot of stuff is happening in the past with Hisaka. Apparently, he was saying that I think in the second year of middle school it was, that it would be his final tournament, and then, well, there he goes, gets injured in his final year of middle school and can't attend the tournament, and doesn't afterwards. Maybe permanent damage, maybe he just didn't want to. Is it all a ploy to get him out of the tournament? Is something else going on? He's walking with another girl that's not his girlfriend, that his friend initially thought was a middle schooler, but turns out to be a high schooler, or at least someone wearing a high school uniform. I have so many questions. Why did he assume it was a middle schooler? I guess, well, yeah, actually, no. I guess that would make sense if she was walking next to Hisaka, who is also a middle schooler and is wearing a school uniform. Oh, never mind. I forgot I said that. But what in the world is going on? Who is she? Why does she matter? She has glasses. I don't know if that's like a super important indicator, or if it's just going to be the way they find her. Did they even find her? We don't know if the past case was solved or not, by the way. Kobuto could be wanting to apologize to Hisaka because he failed to solve that past case. It could be that too. There are so many things going on. Was Hisaka cheating on his girlfriend? Was this girl a family member? Why did he tell the girl to run? Why does he want nobody to know about her? It can't be the obvious. I highly doubt it's the obvious thing. His friend assumed it was like a scandal, but it's definitely not. I would be surprised if it was. But what the freak is even going on? Is there so much stuff happening? And I feel like it's all going to explode my brain if we don't get some answers in the next episode. Because I can't keep track of all of this. I can't. It's too much. I can't make heads or tails of it. Although I think it's quite obvious that even though Koboto considers the possibility that the driver of the car targeted Osanai because they didn't stop, I think it's more likely that it's the opposite and that the driver of the car targeted Hisaka, braked on purpose to get him into an accident and get him out of the tournament or get him out of something else. And then kind of panicked while they drove away and almost ran over Osanai. Either way, we still haven't solved the mystery of the disappearing car, by the way. And the fact that Hisaka has a girlfriend is not really playing into the picture so far, aside from the red herring that he's cheating, because I don't believe he is, because that's just way too obvious. And this show does do a lot of obvious stuff, but not when it comes to critical information like this. Unless it really tries to make you think otherwise, then it's not really trying to make us think this. Especially considering how reliable this friend has been in the past, which is to say not very. But, oh boy, I think that basically covers this episode. I kind of rushed on through it because there's so much stuff I gotta remember it before it comes out of my head. Like, holy cow, there's too much stuff going on. We cover so much ground in each episode. It is, I guess, interesting to see how very strange Osanai acts. And she's strange always like this, but she's so, like, clinical and, need I say, perhaps, psychopathic? Is that the wrong word? Emotionally non-existent, I guess you could say, aside from annoyance and anger. And it's very, she's a very strange person. And I'm wondering why Koboto is gravitating toward her. Because as he questions her in toward the end of the episode, and this is the part that doesn't really have anything to do with the mystery, even though you think it's going to. He questions her why she was walking about, and it turns out she was just thinking. And I have I have a suspicion that we may finally get a little bit of insight into Osanai's head, because she has said a lot of stuff, but a lot of it is basically, she's only saying half of what she really thinks, or half of the information she has, you know. To quote Monogatari, she is only giving away half of her information. So you really can't trust everything she says, because she could be saying half the story, but the other half would provide much more context. And I think that's really the main thing left to explore in the show is Osanai's character, because Koboto has been explored to death, and he doesn't really have anywhere to go. We know him by now, like we know him by heart, and we know all his insecurities, like to the point where I think that's why the hospital segments are so good, despite their confusing nature, is because we know that he's not the type of person who could just sit there and while the investigation is going around him, and while someone else is investigating for him. So, but really, we don't know anything about Osanai. She said some stuff, but I don't believe half of what she says, and I think the other half is leaving out information. So I'll be really curious to finally maybe get some context for that. But aside from that, that's pretty much all I have to say on this episode. I think I've been talking a little more longer than I expected, so hey, there's that. I hope to see you in the next one, which I shall watch very shortly. So long!